I'm going to come down here because I'm not going to let fear deter me.
Now at 6 o'clock, Portland's Jewish community showing solidarity with people who were killed and hurt at a Hanukkah event in Australia. We're going to have more local reaction and Portland Police's plan to keep people safe as local Hanukkah events continue. That's all coming up in a live report. Meanwhile, this morning, a rescue mission has turned into a recovery mission on Mount Hood as crews suspend the search for a missing climber. We'll have more on the efforts to find him. And the city of Portland is going to start gravel street service today for parts of the city to repair potholes and smooth out streets. More on what you need to know about this as we kick off the 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise right now. Good Monday morning. I'm Drew Carney. Let's see who's off today. China Green is off. Rod Hill is off. Let's talk about who's here. That guy, Chris McGinnis. He's handling weather and traffic. We've got more rain this morning, Chris.
We do. It sounds like a really messy job for those PBOT crews today, right? Grading the roads and graveling them in the rain. I bet my 8-year-old would love to be out there with them, though. Okay, radar right now is certainly showing some rain across the region. We've picked up about 0.4 of an inch of rain here in downtown since late last night or since about midnight. As fast as the systems moved in, we're already looking towards the back edge. The rain won't completely shut off today, but the steady rain, I think, is going to come to an end probably within the next 2 hours up and down the I-5 corridor. And then our day will be punctuated with dry time and showers and sun breaks. All right, it's raining right now over downtown Vancouver. The live look from the Springs to the waterfront. Drippy and a little breezy, too. The breeze right now is out of the east. It will swing to the south later this morning. It's also 52 degrees. It's mild to start the morning, 50 at PDX. The average high this time there is 47. We're 50 and the sun hasn't even come up yet. Dark and wet down towards the state capitol, and the breeze there is now up to 14 miles an hour out of the south. That breeze is going to pick up today. So today's going to turn into a showery and breezy day with some sun breaks and also really, really warm. I can't really overstate this, how warm it's been. We're on our way to record highs, I think, this afternoon. So incredibly warm stuff for our Monday. The full forecast and a look ahead to the 7-day in just a few minutes. Let's get you out the door. We start with a TriMet alert on the west side. The Max Red Line is disrupted because TriMet's telling us they've got a tree that's come down blocking the tracks near the fairgrounds. So right now, Max Red Line, they're using shuttles to run from the Hillsborough Airport to Southwest 185th. So obviously that's going to add some time to your morning commute if the Red Line is part of your drive through Washington, or your commute, I should say, through Washington County. The drive is wet. It's a soaker of a morning commute. So far, no major freeway trouble out there, but look at the vapor trails coming off the cars. That's I-5 up near the Expo Center, that southbound drive getting busier. So far, though, we're still rolling along at a speed limit clip. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. We begin our news headlines this hour in Australia, where police say 15 people died and more than 24 others are in the hospital after a mass shooting on a beach in Sydney. Officials are calling this a terrorist attack that targeted Jewish people celebrating the first day of Hanukkah. The 15 dead include a rabbi, a Holocaust survivor, and a 10-year-old girl. Police identify the suspects as a 50-year-old father and his 24-year-old son. Police shot and killed the father. The son remains in critical condition in police custody. Australia's Prime Minister calling this shooting an evil act of anti-Semitism.
Today, all Australians wrap our arms around them and say, we stand with you. We will do whatever is necessary to stamp out anti-Semitism. It is a scourge, and we will eradicate it together.
While the chaos was unfolding, there was also this act of heroism. A bystander jumping into action, wrestling with one of the gunmen, and pulling a weapon out of his hands. Police believe that the father and the son were the only suspects involved in this attack. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live now at Pioneer Courthouse Square in downtown Portland with local reaction to that shooting. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, Drew. And yeah, people we spoke with on the first night of Hanukkah say they're gutted by what happened in Australia, though they refuse to live in fear. Hundreds of people came to Pioneer Courthouse Square yesterday for the first day of the holiday, lighting the candle in celebration and in solemn solidarity after 15 people were killed in Australia. The victims range from 10 to 87 years old. We spoke to a Portland rabbi who tells us he knew one of the victims, a fellow rabbi who was killed, and other people who attended the candle lighting say they refuse to be scared by anti-Semitism.
I'm going to come down here because I'm not going to let fear deter me.
We're not going away. We're not hiding. We are here. We have the right to be safe. We want to feel safe. And we want to make sure that our community leaders also understand the Jewish community is here and to help keep us safe.
A candle will be lit at the menorah behind us every day of the holiday going through Sunday. Portland police also tell us that they're ramping up patrol not only here and at Jewish celebrations around town during this holiday, but also at synagogues and places of worship. Drew?
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning in downtown Portland. There was also this Hanukkah celebration yesterday across the Columbia in Vancouver. The Chabad Jewish Center invited the public to the lighting of this 19-foot grand menorah along the city's waterfront. A rabbi with the Jewish Center described the event as a public way to celebrate the start of Hanukkah, focusing on extending peace and religious freedom to others.
This is exactly the message. We will not let to terrorize our celebration, to terrorize the Jewish community. We will not give up about this. In fact, the whole concept of the holiday of Hanukkah, the lesson that we learn from the menorah is exactly about this.
Yesterday's event in Vancouver also included dropping chocolate coins from high above for the kids there. There was also music and some local vendors. In other local headlines, police arrested 3 suspects accused of robbing and shooting someone at an apartment in Kaiser, leaving them with life-threatening injuries. This attack happened in late October at an apartment on McGee Court Northeast. The charges against the 3 suspects, 2 men and a woman, include attempted murder. Police also seized a handgun while serving search warrants. A shooting in southeast Portland over the weekend left 2 people hurt. This happened Saturday morning near Southeast 127th and Stark. An officer said they heard shots and saw people running from a parking lot. Police found one of the injured people nearby. The other person went to a hospital. Investigators are asking witnesses to reach out to Portland police. The Hood River County Sheriff's Office suspended the search for a 26-year-old man who was last seen trying to climb Mount Hood. The Sheriff's Office says Matthew Aldridge reportedly kept climbing up the mountain by himself, even though 2 other climbers had turned back because of declining conditions. Phone data suggests that Aldridge fell at some point, but efforts to find him both on the ground and in the air have been unsuccessful. The search is now considered a recovery mission. In Multnomah County, the Sheriff's Office is asking for help to find this missing woman. 58-year-old Kelly Fuller was last seen Saturday afternoon in the parking lot of the Troutdale Safeway on Southeast Stark Street. The Sheriff's Office says she has dementia and can't care for herself. She's only 4'11", about 120 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. If you see her, call 911, or if you have any information about where she may be, you could reach out to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. A Latin American tradition was on full display in downtown Portland over the weekend. On Saturday, Director Park was the site of Portland's first ever public Las Posadas celebration. This is typically celebrated from December 16th to the 24th in countries like Mexico, El Salvador, and Honduras. The 9-day celebration represents the 9-month pregnancy of the Virgin Mary, as well as her and Joseph's search for a place to stay during the birth of Jesus. Saturday's celebration featured a local artist space, cultural music, and food. All right, some good weather over the weekend, Chris. I especially enjoyed Friday night and most of Saturday, but the rain came back a little bit yesterday, and it's back in full force this morning.
It is, and not only that, you probably enjoyed it because it was warm, right? Really, really warm stuff. I wanted to kind of headline the first half of December. So yesterday, today's the 15th, so we're basically halfway through the month. PDX is 7.8 degrees above average for the month of December so far. We've already topped 60 twice. I think we're going to do it again today. And by the way, the record at PDX today is 59, set back in 1959. So I think we're going to do better than that. Just putting an exclamation point, on how warm it's been to go along with all the rain as well. This is Futurecast later today. The I-5 corridor easily getting into the upper 50s to about 60. For perspective, again, that's record or near record warmth for a lot of us. The average high this time of year is 47. So one of the reasons why there's no snow up on Mount Hood. A little bit of that changes later this week, but for now, we're dealing with rain. We've had a pretty good soaking out there this morning, but already we're starting to see a little break in the action as we look off to the south and west. Instead of a solid rain band, which is what we've had for the last 3 hours, you can see now we're getting some breaks as expected, and that break will continue pushing off to the north and east. So the heaviest rain today is likely falling this morning. and then we'll get some dry time punctuated by a few showers. The remainder of our forecast here, Futurecast shows, some green blobs on the map here or there. It's also possible we get a rumble of thunder, especially at the coast today. So that's not to say that we won't get a quick downpour, but there also will be some dry time today to go along with the very mild temperatures. The other facet to this first storm of the week is the wind. There is a wind advisory for the higher terrain of the Coast Range and out across the Columbia Basin later today. Gusty south winds are going to develop here later this morning. It's already starting to get a little breezy in Salem. In the valley, we could have wind gusts to 30, 35 miles an hour, nearly 50 miles an hour possible in some of the ridgetops in the Coast Range. So be mindful if you're driving through the Coast Range today. That kind of wind on top of the saturated soils could easily bring down a tree or some power lines there. We get a break in the action overnight tonight, but a very mild night. A little drippy tomorrow, and then another shot of rain and gusty wind comes in Tuesday night and Wednesday. So that's another active situation, and then another soaker of a system coming in here Thursday and Friday. It is a very active third week of December. All right, some good news here on the TriMet situation. TriMet now is just letting us know that they have cleared that tree fall near the Hillsborough Airport. So the red and the blue line have resumed regular service. Drew, back to you.